What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel or online at www.whatsupinthesky.com. And it's not what's up in the sky today, it's what's down in the sea. Well, it's what's down in the ocean outside of Malibu, California. If you haven't heard yet, the ever so enchanting 3 mile long UFO base, I think they're calling it now, under the sea. Um, this actually hit the Huffington Post. A couple articles hit the Huffington Post, and it really got viral. And you guys have probably heard about this if you're my subscribers. So I wanted to talk to you about it just a little bit and give you my what I think of it and show it to you if you haven't seen it yet, because a lot of people will talk about it and they really don't give you much to see, especially like on the news or especially the radio stuff. There's a picture here and there, but now, this was found by somebody. Here, let me exactly pull up the article I was reading. The truth behind Malibu underwater alien base. Yeah, the alien base. So, a little more than 6 miles off the coast of Point Dume in Malibu, California, an unusual looking structure sits on the seabed floor. Based on the images obtained on Google Earth, the oval shaped object has a huge flat top, which appears to be pillar of columns that seem to revel the entrance into a darker inner place. It actually looks like if it was a lot smaller, if it wasn't so so big, it looks like a something from like Romans or something like a Roman time where they had the cathedrals and they'd have the big pillars that were really ornate and gorgeous out in front of them. You can still find some of them out there. See, okay, the anomaly, for the moment, we will call it that, an anomaly. So this guy is pretty much debunking it. Is approximately 2,000 feet below the surface of the water, measuring nearly 3 miles wide. What exactly is this thing? According to a website in California, radio-based program Fade to Black, this may be the holy grail of the UFO USO that researchers have been looking for the last 40 years. And this is a video right here you can watch. This is it's basically the Jimmy, let's see who was named, Jimmy Black, I think runs, or Jimmy Church runs it. It's Fade to Black, and that's the audio from it. And okay, told the Huffington Post and one of his listeners, someone named Maxwell, contacted him last month with the Google Earth image showing him something odd underwater off the coast of Malibu. Church then asked the graphic designer Dale Romero to capture as many angles of the image as the anomaly he could. Okay, so basically, the guy got it. He's looking for it. And I mean, I get emails stuff all the time, so I understand what he's talking about here. Basically, you get it, you look at it, you go check it out. I needed him to find a way to get under and above the water, Church said. My first impression was that it was Greek. Yeah, Greek's a good one. Same thing, same beautiful, ornate thing, but who knows what this is actually. So it looked artificial and didn't look natural. Now, just knowing what I do with the Mars videos, it's hard what's natural and what's unnatural is hard to say. There's a weird line there, and it's not a solid line. I tell you what, it floats because sometimes I look at something and I say, God, that can't be natural, and somebody comes and emails me and says, no, that is natural. Here's where you can find it natural, but it doesn't mean it's not unnatural too. So it's a line that's an ever-moving line there. So basically, for this, we're gonna say it's either something or it's not, and okay. Here we go. When you're looking at it from above, it's nearly perfect oval shape, Church continued. In the natural surroundings, nothing is symmetrical. Everything is eroded and covered in rocks and sloping and peaking, and right there, for 2 miles, it's a perfect oval with the black separation or outline to it. It just stands out, and it has some type of roof, and it has to be some type of roof. It's not unlike a dome stadium or covered indoor racetrack or an Olympic arena. It's got that feel to it. It looks like a perfect oval man-made structure sitting on a construction site. And here are the coordinates. Basically, I took them, popped them on in. Um, and let's say, okay, now, as unusual as this anomaly appears, here's where they're going to debunk it. Its alien UFO base is the only realistic explanation for it. I didn't see anything special about it. I think it's because it looks like there's a flat surface, and then below it, it looks like there's vertical columns. So somebody can say, oh, this is an entryway or something special, said earthquake geologist David Schwartz of the U.S. Geological Survey. I think it's natural, and the part of the continental shelf, Schwartz told Huffington Post, is just a completed part of what now offshore and has seen some erosion and maybe slumping, where perhaps this was partially exposed when the sea level was lower. This is really a major earthquake area, and perhaps some of these features are a result of slope failures due to shaking. Now that's also very true. That is a very earthquake-prone area, that whole area. Um, off California in general, off the coast. There's no flag under the water that says, I'm an entrance to an alien base. There's nothing unnatural looking about it. It's just showing some sort of variation in the offshore coastal morphology. So basically this guy's saying, no, it's definitely natural, you know, because he just knows. Not that I'm saying either or, because I say anything I say on my channel, I always say I see what I see, you see what you see. You know, I'm not one to say it's natural or not, but let's take a look at some of these angles, see what you guys think. I'd love to know, comment, and let you know, you know, let me know what you guys think here. It's kind of weird how you get a really good survey of around here. Over here, you get a really good one, but there's not one of it. I mean, that just goes to show. Now, there's also not one of everything else. And it looks like they got a lot of this canyon here. Isn't it amazing what's under the water? I mean, it's more and more. Like, I know that at one time on Earth, it was a much lower sea level, and there are ruins all over, and we're finding them now. We're just starting to find them. I mean, what, the Earth is 70% water or something like that. I don't know the exact quote. We're just starting to find these things. They're in China. They're off the coast. You know, even down the Caribbean, um, offshore. Even I think there's some in Europe. Some of those places off there. You know, so they're everywhere. We're finding ruins, and I know we're going to find more and more and more, but. This is pretty. Look at this one right here. Oh, oh, sorry guys. Look how that one's kind of blurred out right there, but they didn't get the actual boat didn't come over. I think they do this by boat. That's how they do this. They come and they just go back and forth and they get it. And sometimes that gives things, you know, the impressions, you know, of it being something. But that is pretty neat, whatever it is. And let's look at these so-called pillars because these are pretty cool. And like I said, this could be all natural. I really don't know what this is, guys. You know, I would love to think it was an alien base, or really not even alien base. If maybe it was built by, I don't see why everything has to be aliens when it's on Earth. You know, maybe it was built by humans or something else like us at one time. I think we have no idea what our real history is here, and if we did, um, I don't know if we. You know, I think things would be a lot better. I do think that, but we'll see. Um, all right, get rid of that, make it a little bit bigger. All right. So what do you guys think here? Look how this is kind of interesting to me how and look where it's really you actually see it. It doesn't look like it matches with down here. So really this looks like the radar here is definitely much more crisp and whatever technology did this is much different from that. So and it already doesn't look to match there. If you see it right here, look at that. This is interesting these four little things in a row. Um, but the technology and these don't seem to match. You would think these would keep coming down. Um, so we already have a technology difference here in the two, which is pretty stark difference if you look at that and you look at this. So we're looking at a blurred object no matter what. But I can see why it hit the news. You know, I really don't think that. You know, I do think there could be alien bases under. Like I said, I'm not. I don't know everything. All I know is what I was taught here on my little circle of the planet um, where I live. You know, they could tell me anything. You know, I always heard, especially my parents used to tell me, my grandfather and my father used to tell me, you only know what winners of war. You know, history is made and by the people who win wars, by the people who conquer people. You know, the history is changed. You know, we don't really. I think it's being held um, what the real truth about things are. Who knows? You know, it really is the winners of wars and the people who survive are the ones that make the history up. So what do we really know in the scheme of things? Um, these all look like columns too, so it would be pretty natural to have that there. Maybe the stuff over here. It's interesting how this looks to be going downwards, and it just kind of this looks above it. You know, just see how this looks above this piece right here. I'm wondering if we're just getting the sensation that it's actually above it. Let's see something real quick. Let me do some measurements myself. Oops, I don't need to mark it. Don't need to mark you, are you? The ruler tool. Okay, we're going to do this in miles. So they said basically from here to here, it's about 3 miles. The top of it I do. It does look like it's got a top to it, but I'm thinking if this looks all jaggedy like this, and then up here looks smooth, I don't know what it would look like under the really good radar. And it's about a mile, you know, mile that way, and a mile. So I don't know, guys. Let's see this from here to here is going to be what? That's where they get to 3 mile at its biggest, and they get to two. What we got 2 miles exactly. So how is it on the map? Is you know this? Let's see if we went drew it through here. Bam. Let me just come on, guys. Clear. Give me it back. Here. Where's the center of it? I'd say if we cut this thing in half, what I'm trying to do, let's cut it in half. All right, now let's see what it's oriented. That's with north facing. Well, you know what? Here, look. I should actually get it from the tip there and do right to the center. Let's cut it right in half. Now I'll move north perfectly over east. It's pointing kind of, well, I guess it is. It's running east to west, almost on the line. That's kind of interesting, whether you take that for anything or not. So if you cut it directly in half. But I don't know, guys. I'm gonna let this one go. I'm just adding speculation to it. Nothing really much going on here. I want to make sure you knew about this because it's hitting the radio, so I think it's cool. Either way, it looks cool, and I love to sit here and imagine what it could be. But I'm definitely gonna do some looking into some of these areas here. This is just interesting. Look at how this stuff works out. It works itself out, and it's like basically looking at, the Grand Canyon or something like that, but you're seeing it underwater. It's amazing. I wonder how much has actually changed under there. You know what I mean? Just from the waters and all the flows that come around it. Like it's still getting carved out today. And all these lines, I know these are probably from the boats, I think, to do the radar. I think that's how it works. But all right, guys, much love to you. Now you've seen it, the alien base off of Malibu. You probably heard about it at least. Let's see what the first picture says. Oh, entrance to Sycamore Canyon through tunnel. Man, that's gorgeous out there in California. Every chance to go, go. Much love, guys. Take it easy. What's up in the sky.com.